What a powerful and kind of sobering message from Pastor Chris.
Yeah, amazing message. And I think it's hard to transition from here to anything else without thinking of the persecuted church and maybe that just gratitude. I guess to have a first thought about that, gratitude that we're not persecuted. We could gather for worship. We're gathered today. What a gift that we have. And let's keep the persecuted church on our minds and in our prayers as we go about this week. And I'm glad for that reminder from Chris today. And so for our brothers and sisters in the persecuted church, Lord have mercy. Christ have mercy. Lord have mercy. Powerful.
Yeah, we were talking with Chris. I was talking with Chris. We were all talking with Chris before the service, and he was just reminding me and challenging me once again that the church in America is not the average Christian experience. Like most Christians, I mean, Christianity has largely moved to the global south. Christianity is exploding in Africa and South America, and the experience is just very different in different parts of the world.
Yeah, well. And talk about the church in the world. We are about to spend a month considering the church in the world, the church in Anchorage, the church in our state, beyond. Is pretty exciting times.
Yeah.
Let's talk about missions.
Anybody who doesn't know us, let's say hi. I'm Tony Murrow, pastor of digital ministry, joined by
Kyle Rudy, I'm a missions pastor.
And
Michael Warren, pastor of community and care.
And we got a fourth chair right there, and we are going to bring Chris Kopp when he's going to shake people's hands and say hello and good morning, and then come back here and have a seat and join us for the conversation. But the big topic of conversation today is, of course, the Remodel Missions Conference for 2021. So really quick, if you've never been to a missions conference, never heard of a missions conference, Kyle, you're the missions pastor. What is a missions conference before 2021? Like what has it been?
Right, this is our third. It's going to look different this year, but traditionally what we've done is we've actually invited in a lot of our mission partners, and they come in. We set up tables, displays, and things like that. So when the people are able to, they're able to connect with them, hear about their ministries. We have sessions where we have keynote speakers. We do worship, and then there's also breakout sessions that are focused on, we had one on fecal alcohol spectrum disorder and sharing your faith and all kinds of things. And so, yeah, we're really excited to do this year. Like we said, it's going to be a lot different, but it's going to be good, and it's going to be all digital. So
yes, it's good. So missions conference and informing, equipping, praying, right? All things missions, powerful.
So Kyle just mentioned that it is a little bit different this year. Michael, you want to tell us how it's different this year?
Yeah, we've taken the conference online. And so you'll be able to enjoy the conference from wherever you are. And you'll also be able to experience the missions conference whenever you want to. So you could come from the comfort of your living room. You could get some people together, watch it together, and you can watch it whenever you want. So really a full length conference experience, hours of really amazing teaching, and it'll be available online. And what's cool is that's only a piece. That's only one part of what this is going to mean for ChangePoint and anybody who's connected to us. So
yeah, so we built a thing. We made a website for this. Do we want to check out the website?
Yeah, let's do it.
So it is changepointalaska.com/remodel. And Thatch, you pull that up? Bam! Check it out. This is the Remodel webpage. Much changed in 2020, and the mission of God, of course, did not. So we can scroll down here. It's a little introductory video from Scott Mariner, and you guys are on there saying hello. Keep going down. How to enjoy the conference. Let's go over this really quick. There's kind of three ways to enjoy this conference. The first way is to enjoy it as like a full event.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, which is tomorrow morning, right? 10 a.m.
Yeah, so 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Monday morning, right?
3-hour event, and it'll be very much like going to a conference, right? There's hello, welcome, transitions, moments, and we go through all 8 of the speakers in one big thing, very much like attending a conference in person. Yes,
right. Kyle and I will be there. We'll be live in the chat. So if you're going to join us tomorrow morning, that's awesome. We'll be with you, and we can kind of chat as we go and interact around the content.
Yeah, ask for prayer, the whole deal. It's just like a worship service. Anywhere you could go to see a worship service, you can go to see this. So however you're watching right now, if you're on YouTube right now, you could go back to YouTube. If you're on Facebook right now, you could go back to Facebook. If you're on the app, you go back to the app. If you're on the website, you go back to the website. Wherever you're at right now, you can go back there tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
That's really good.
And you can find the thing. So Can we do second way to join in?
Sure.
Okay, so second way to join in, let's scroll down. We have the individual sessions. Here's all our speakers. And let's have a look at the sessions. Down here, yeah, each of these 8 individual sessions, just hit the first one there. Yeah, Ministry in a Time of COVID. This is from Mike Belani. Mike and Kirsten Belani are ChangePoint members. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, missionaries to Cambodia living in Oregon.
Yep.
And there's a story there. You're going to want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has to do with their ministry in a time of COVID, right? So they've got all 8 sessions there. They're all short. I think there's only one of them that's over 20 minutes, right?
Right.
So they're all short.
About 15 to 17 minutes. Yeah.
They fit in a workout. They fit in prepping dinner or cleaning up from dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or podcast style. You could, however you digest content, whether you turn your earphones on when you're driving or whatever, while you're working, just kind of getting household chores done. Just like a playlist. You could just listen.
So easy way to do that if you want to do it podcast style. We also have all of that content that you just saw right there is available today, right now, in the ChangePoint app. So if you have the ChangePoint app, you can open it up. It's here. Woohoo! Third thing down, Remodel Missions Conference. If I tap on that, here we get in front of my mic. Tap on that. Remodel, all things new. And here's all of the sessions. And go back to me here. When you listen on the app, or when you watch on the app, you can switch back and forth between audio and video. If you just lock your phone, it'll go to audio only. So you can play it in the app, put on your headphones, go, and do that thing.
That's really good. And the other thing I like about the fact that the conference content is broken down into these small bite-sized pieces. If you're a life group leader out there, listen in for just a sec here. You may want to digest the missions conference one session at a time inside of your life group. We've got some group guides there. So if you're a part of a Bible study, if you lead a Bible study, if you'd like to gather people to study something, if you care about missions, we all care about missions. Missions is something that you'd like to focus in on.
If that's this season, right?
Yeah. A great way to digest it in bite-sized pieces. Not everybody has 3 hours tomorrow at 10 a.m. to sit and watch the whole thing, and we know that. And so, however you'd like to.
But the internet exists.
But wait,
guys.
There's more.
So real quick, Thatch, while we're talking, can you pull up one of the group discussion guides? I want to show that off. Kyle, let me go to you for a second. Why did we take the missions conference online?
Right. Obviously, there's a thing called COVID, and there's some challenges bringing in our partners. We can't exactly have them all fly in. Some live in some communities that would not allow them to travel. And we just know that overall, people are being careful, making decisions on whether to come or not. And we just wanted to make the content available to as many people as possible. And in this season, we're set up to win. We've been able to go online and do this successfully. And so we just believe that this would be the best way to move forward in the season. And we believe that we're going to have more people tune in and use this content than ever before.
Yeah, and tomorrow's a kickoff for something else too.
Yep.
Tomorrow we kick off 30 days of missions prayer. Basically, for the next 30 days, starting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we are going to hear daily.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Well, they post at 5 a.m. They're available at 5 a.m. For you early birds who get up early and well, okay, so we have have you seen I have seen members of our church. I won't call you out on the stream, okay? But I've seen members of our church who are Captain America, and they're up at 5 a.m. hauling fire trucks through the snow, as a workout. So I'm like, you know what, man? God bless you, brother. You can have the missions prayer video when you wake up.
So if you're up praying at 5 a.m., actually, whenever you pray, every day there's going to be a new release of missions prayer. And basically, we are going to be led as a church in 30 days of focused prayer by our mission partners.
That's right.
We have dozens of mission partners that work locally in our city, throughout our state, just like Chris. You're going to hear from Chris in a second, and beyond throughout the world.
29 to be exact, actually.
29.
We have 29.
We have 29
So we're going to hear from all of them over the month, which is awesome.
Plus Kyle.
Yep. Plus
there we go. 29
and
plus Kyle.
Let me just say this too. And if you're not up, or if you miss a day, if you're out of town, whatever, these prayer videos, they're so rich and such a great opportunity for you to meet our mission partners that if you miss one, it's all on this webpage. It's all archived. So you can basically pray with our missionaries whenever you want to. But if you'd like to do that daily, that's available too. Pretty powerful stuff.
I would encourage everyone to tune in and to check those out, because this is like your shot to hear from each one of our partners, and we're able to give them, 3 to 5 minutes, some a little bit more, but basically what they're doing is they're sharing with us how they've had to remodel the ministries and what God is showing them in the season. And they basically are going to give us an encouraging feedback of what God has done and is doing. And as we went through and got to watch the footage and kind of engage around that, we were just really blown away and encouraged, just because it paints a bigger picture of how God is working.
Good.
And so, yeah, I think you'll be encouraged, and it gives you an opportunity to know what to pray for our partners, and they're actually going to lead us in prayer themselves for those things. So it's really cool.
Everybody is in the middle of some kind of remodel. That's been the theme of the year. And when I think about a remodel, you're either in the middle of it and you're looking around you and you're going, "Oh my goodness, everything is a mess. What have I started?" Or what has God started? Or you're at the end of a remodel and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I got this new space. It's kind of working for me. This is good." So wherever you're at in your remodel, we want to encourage you to join up with us for this time of not only the mission conference but missions prayer, because we need to reflect on what is God doing, how is He going about it, and what I love is our missions partners are encouraging us through the Word and through their testimony. And when I think of Word and testimony, everybody should be like, yeah, that's how God ministers to us in powerful ways.
So I want to get to Chris here really quick on details on the missions prayer. Those videos are going to launch one a day. So we're going to put a positive thing in your news feed every day. That's what we're doing.
That's a gift right there.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's a gift right there.
Rare gift.
Right.
We'll take it.
So
Especially this coming week,
if
right?
if you go in the app and you go mission prayer videos, there's no videos in here. That's because they start tomorrow, right? And there's going to be 1 tomorrow and 2 the next day and 3 the next day, all the way to 30. So they'll be online, YouTube, Facebook, in the app, on the website. They'll be everywhere. They're coming out one a day for the next 30 days,
Join us.
ending
Join us.
February 16th. So Chris first
Cobb,
off, thanks so much for that message.
Thank you.
Tremendous. Amazing job. It's always a delight to have you.
Yeah,
It's always a
it's a
delight
joy to be here.
So tell us about your day job, for those who don't know you.
For my day,
What do you do for work?
what does a village pastor look like? So I pastor the Galena Bible Church. It's the only evangelical church in Galena, in the village of Galena. And if you don't know where Galena is, if you draw a straight line from Fairbanks to Nome, we're the halfway point of that line. We're closer to the Arctic Circle than we are the nearest Walmart.
That's fantastic. Galena, 500
Tweet
people,
that.
roughly?
500 people. Yeah.
500 people. Galena kind of famous because they have the school there, right?
Yeah.
People come from all over to go to school in Galena. My sister went to school in Galena for a period.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So they got that. Tell us a little about your church and what ministry has looked like over 2020. It's just a very different ministry context than we have here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a really weird dynamic in the sense that so Galena's isolated; it's a fly-in only community, so our city kind of put some parameters around what travel looked like in and out of Galena.
Right.
So that kind of functioned like a really big gate. So total through the whole pandemic, we've had 4 positive cases of COVID in Galena at all, and have had no spread from those because we have a 1-week shelter in place after you've traveled out and have to have negative testing prior to coming in and all this kind of stuff. And so it's made that element of it, I mean, feel kind of otherworldly, listening to everybody else that is having, a lot of my ministry supporting churches and things like that have lost congregation members, and it's been a very strange thing. And for us, it's just kind of been like, I mean, we've been having in-person services since the beginning of May. Today was actually the first time I've preached without a mask in 6 months, which is it was enjoyable.
We have the space.
I
Like
have-
35 feet from the nearest person.
I can get my preacher spit on, and it's everybody's still totally safe.
Got that. That's good.
But yeah, so no ministry for us. Just looks like we've been there now 10 years in the village of Galena, and so a lot of it is just that one-on-one, life-on-life kind of coaching stuff. We've got basic church normal functions that everybody kind of what you would expect church to have, but really ministry happens on those Tuesday afternoons where crisis happens with somebody and you got to go help them out, and I take on a lot of hands-on type of like practical ministry stuff. I don't know if I'm going to go into that, Kyle, or not, but
I'll let you cover that, Chris.
Yeah,
Now I got to dig, right? Like,
It's juicy.
What do you mean, Chris?
I mean, it's like, well, what does practical ministry look like when it's -50 and your sewer line is frozen? Well, it looks like your pastor coming and thawing out your sewer line. So,
but not with paraffin wax or.
Right. Yeah, I'm highly skilled in a lot of things that apply nowhere else on the planet. So it's,
How'd you end up out there? What?
Man,
How'd
it's
God
just
call you out there?
the way the Lord. I'm originally from Anchorage. I grew up in Anchorage, and then I moved to Louisiana. I was in Louisiana for 16 years. Was a church planter down there, and then God, through a series of events, called us to raise support and go pastor the church in Galena, and it's been wild. I mean, it's wild. It really is wild. And God's given us a pretty unique, because of the boarding school that's there and the connections we've, on a non-COVID year, right? We usually have about 250 students from around 80 villages around the state. So it's a huge influence. And what that pressured on me was to say, you know what, at best, I got these kids for 4 years. I've got to network with churches and denominations and parachurch ministries and stuff to try to help these kids make the transition in their faith from being in our small community to the greater world of Alaska. And when it comes to villages in Alaska, I mean, the honest truth is most don't have gospel proclaiming churches in them. That's the norm. Like our very conservative estimate is about 80% of villages in rural Alaska don't have a gospel proclaiming church in them, and so we're doing what we can generationally to try to see that change. And so that's something that little me in Galena with my little church of 35 people, there's no way we can accomplish that. But if we're part of the greater body of Christ in the state of Alaska and embrace the role that God has all of us to do in that, then we actually can see some fruit in that.
It's tremendous, and it's very similar to what we're saying in the missions conference, right? I mean, a lot of the next steps and those kinds of things were all very directly related to what mission is God calling you specifically to.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, a couple things.
Go.
So what is God doing right now in Galena? Like where is God moving in an undeniable way that you're excited about, that we can kind of maybe guard and participate with in prayer?
Well, one of the things that we've been praying for years, and this actually touches directly with ChangePoint, is we've because we have so many students, we've been praying that God would raise up somebody, a harvester, a laborer for the field, that their total focus, their total ministry attention would be devoted towards youth. And there's a couple that are former ChangePointers. They were at ChangePoint for a number of years with the Air Force, moved out of country, have moved back, and God has since called them to come be our youth pastors. And so that's been an incredible thing. And we are so excited about that, because that's just a fruitful ministry that we want somebody to have. That's their full scope of ministry, right? And so prayerfully about that. Obviously, they're doing the challenge of trying to do fundraising in the middle of a pandemic. So you guys can be praying for them around that. That's Ross and Molly Kinsey. That maybe some of your ChangePointers might have known them from when they were here.
Yeah, it's one of the unique ways that God has allowed us to participate in His kingdom, kind of beyond here, is that ChangePoint is kind of I'll say an awkward sending church. Awkward because I feel like if anybody's a part of ChangePoint ministry, this is a place where you can grow deeper in your theology, you can kind of learn some kind of ministry mechanics and some things about discipleship, at least we hope. And then there are these stories that come in of people joining up with works of God other places, and it's so cool. I wish we had a map on the wall with some pinpoints on it where we could just kind of like just track the people that have been we've had the privilege of knowing and growing with, that then just kind of go and join up with God and His work in other places. Pretty powerful stuff.
Well, you see that in the chat. I'm like scrolling the chat on this video right now, and it's hello from Tennessee, hello from Germany, hello from everywhere, right? I mean, where are these people from? Germany. They were here and they got stationed here, and then they got shipped off to Germany, right? Like
my thoughts always go to Peter Scott. He was the press secretary for Shell Oil, and now he's an executive pastor in Australia. and he's just growing and leading, and it's like, okay, so there's that, and again, just one testimony out of so many, so powerful stuff. I don't want to steer.
Go,
we're
my
all
friend. You're
steering
good.
here, but
You're
like
good.
Revelation. So you get the call. You get the call probably from Mariner, like, hey, so wonder if you could come in, get us kicked off on our mission conference, which is awesome, by the way. I love that you're a part of this. And we'd like you to preach on the Church of Smyrna, the letter to Smyrna in Revelation. What were your first thoughts, and what was it like for you to journey through the prep for that message?
Well, I always enjoy preaching at Change Point. It's it's obviously very different. Like,
But do you always enjoy preaching in Revelation? Not to put you on the spot. It's one of those books that I think a lot of us are like, oh, okay.
Well, I was laughing because when I was here last year, I preached in Revelation.
My goodness.
I began it. I began it with that. And honestly, like, I'm not intimidated by it in the sense that, like, I don't feel like I know it. Like, I don't feel like I can be like, I can tell you how Revelation works, right? But there's my firm conviction, which I made the point of earlier, is that all future revelation is for present day living. Like, it's intended for us to be blessed now, to be encouraged now, to have that picture of, like, God gives us a picture of the end so that we can go through the hard stuff now and go, like, I can do that because I know we win. Like, I know with absolute Jesus blood bought certainty we win. So it doesn't scare me necessarily. I mean, I'm not trying to figure out, like, who the baby is with the harlot and what the dragon is and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not touching on those. But this one was one of those where just when they said Smyrna and knowing Polycarp's thing. If anybody ever wants to be blessed, just actually you can go online and you can read the narrative that was written, the eyewitness account of Polycarp's martyrdom, and it's incredible. It just absolutely is incredible, and his love for Jesus that finished. I mean, literally till they stabbed him in the heart with a knife, and while he was being burned. It's an incredible story. So it was good for me.
And thank you for the reminder, just to be aware of the persecuted church in the world. Yeah. I think that's important for us to not lose sight of. So I appreciated that. Thank you.
That's good. Well, we are actually very close to out of time.
Oh, man.
And can you believe it? Can you believe it? Chris, is there anything else that you would like to say to our ChangePoint family? We always give the guests the final word on the mic. So anything that you haven't gotten the chance to say that we didn't set you up for that you would want to say?
Yeah, live on mission. Like that. Join the partner up with the missions conference. Pay attention to the stuff. Ask the Holy Spirit, what do you want me to do? Because God's mandate for you is for sure not for you to occupy a seat at ChangePoint. That's not God's
Preach.
ultimate purpose for you. I can actually say with absolute certainty, I actually know God's will for your lives, like for all three of you guys' lives. God's will for your life is that you would go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. That's what is God's will for my life is not the question. The question is where, to whom, and doing what. That's the questions.
That is the correct place to end, I believe.
Yes.
If you want to follow that second Pastor's Challenge, if we would go there, and get engaged, check out this missions conference. All of the individual session videos are live right now online at changepointalaska.com/remodel. And they're also live in the ChangePoint app. So if you have the app, it's right there on the front page. The missions conference kind of big event video that's going to launch tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's available everywhere that this is available. Wherever you're watching this right now, you can come back to that location tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the missions conference will be there. Kyle and Michael will be there. Chat will be live, everything like that. And then that full 3-hour experience will be available on demand immediately following the conference.
Awesome.
And mission prayer videos start tomorrow, and they're going to go through February 16th. 30 days of our missions partners leading our church in prayer. It's exciting stuff.
It is.
Chris, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah,
Kyle, Michael, thanks for
Yes,
joining
amen.
me. God bless you, ChangePoint family. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Sunday.